Hello, and welcome to another U.S. Citizenship Test and Interview preparation video.
We will go over all 100 official USCIS civics questions
and give you an easy answer to remember.
And as you can see, this time, we will have multiple speakers, so you can get used to listening to different voices.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Now let's get started.
Name one state that borders Canada. New York. As you can see, there are a number of answers you can choose from. However, we think it is easiest just to remember New York.
Name one U.S. territory. Puerto Rico. You could also say U.S. Virgin Islands, American Samoa, Northern Mariana Islands, or Guam. But it is easiest just to remember Puerto Rico.
What did the Declaration of Independence do? It said that the United States is free from Great Britain. Other acceptable answers are announced our independence or declared our independence from Great Britain. But it is easiest to just say, it said the United States was free.
Who was president during the Great Depression and World War II? Roosevelt. Franklin Roosevelt was president during the Great Depression and World War II.
What is the economic system in the United States? Capitalist economy. Another acceptable answer is market economy. But it is easy to just say, capitalist economy.
Where is the Statue of Liberty? New York Harbor. You could also say Liberty Island, New Jersey, New York City, or on the Hudson. But it is easiest to say New York.
The Federalist Papers supported the passage of the U.S. Constitution. Name one of the writers. John Jay. You could also say James Madison, Alexander Hamilton, or Publius. But it is easiest to remember John Jay.
There were 13 original states. Name 3. New Hampshire, New York, and New Jersey. You can choose to answer with any 3 of the 13 states listed, but we feel it is easiest just to remember New Hampshire, New York, and New Jersey.
Who wrote the Declaration of Independence? Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson wrote the Declaration of Independence.
What are 2 rights in the Declaration of Independence? Life and liberty. If you prefer, another answer you can use for one of the 2 answers you provide is the pursuit of happiness, but it is easiest to say life and liberty.
The House of Representatives has how many voting members? 435. There are 435 voting members.
Before he was president, Eisenhower was a general. What war was he in? World War II.
What is freedom of religion? You can practice any religion or not practice a religion.
Name one state that borders Mexico. California. Other acceptable answers include Arizona, New Mexico, and Texas, but it is easiest just to say California.
What does the judicial branch do? Reviews laws. Other acceptable answers include explains laws, resolves disputes or disagreements, or decides if a law goes against the Constitution. But it is easiest just to remember reviews laws.
When was the Declaration of Independence adopted? July 4th, 1776.
Who makes federal laws? Congress. Other acceptable answers include Senate and House of Representatives, or U.S. or national legislature. But just saying Congress is easiest. What did the Emancipation Proclamation do? Freed the slaves. Other acceptable answers are freed slaves in the Confederacy, freed slaves in the Confederate States, or freed slaves in most southern states. But you can just say freed the slaves.
What is one responsibility that is only for United States citizens? Vote in a federal election. Another acceptable answer is to serve on a jury. But it is easiest to remember, vote in a federal election.
Who is one of your state's U.S. senators now? The answer to this one varies by state. Each state has 2 senators. You will need to find one of your senators by going to senate.gov and choosing your state. Or you can just ask us in the comments. Name one right only for United States citizens. Vote in a federal election. Another acceptable answer is to run for federal office. But the easy answer is to vote in a federal election.
What do we show loyalty to when we say the Pledge of Allegiance? The United States. Another acceptable answer is the flag. But we think it is easiest to just remember the United States.
Who lived in America before the Europeans arrived? Native Americans or American Indians?
What are the 2 major political parties in the United States? Democratic and Republican.
We elect a U.S. Senator for how many years? 6. We elect a senator for 6 years.
Who signs bills to become laws? The President. Who is the governor of your state now? So your governor will depend on where you live. If you go to the link shown here, usa.gov/state-governor, and enter your state or territory that you live in, you can find your governor. You can also find your governor at the link shown from the National Governors Association website. If you live in the District of Columbia, you should just answer that you do not have a governor. Finally, you can always just ask us in the comments and we'll help you out.
Why does the flag have 13 stripes? Because there were 13 original colonies. You could also say, because the stripes represent the original colonies. But it is easiest just to say, because there were 13 original colonies.
What territory did the United States buy from France in 1803? Louisiana. Or the Louisiana Territory. The United States bought the Louisiana Territory from France in 1803.
What ocean is on the west coast of the United States? The Pacific. The Pacific Ocean is on the west coast of the United States.
What is the highest court in the United States? The Supreme Court. What is one reason colonists came to America? Freedom. There are a number of other acceptable answers such as political liberty, religious freedom, economic opportunity, practice their religion, and escape persecution. But it is easiest just to say freedom.
What ocean is on the east coast of the United States? The Atlantic. The Atlantic Ocean is on the east coast of the United States.
What does the President's Cabinet do? Advises the President.
There are 4 amendments to the Constitution about who can vote. Describe one of them. Citizens 18 and older can vote. Other acceptable answers you can say are: you don't have to pay to vote, any citizen can vote, or a male citizen of any race can vote. But we feel it is easiest just to remember, citizens 18 and older can vote.
Under our Constitution, some powers belong to the states. What is one power of the states? Provide schooling and education. Other acceptable answers are: to provide protection, such as police, provide safety, such as fire departments, to give a driver's license, and to approve zoning and land use. But it is easiest to just say, provide schooling and education. Who is the commander-in-chief of the military? The President.
What is the political party of the president now? The Democratic Party.
We elect a U.S. representative for how many years? 2. We elect a U.S. representative for 2 years.
What happened at the Constitutional Convention? The Constitution was written. You could also say, the Founding Fathers wrote the Constitution. However, it is easiest just to answer, the Constitution was written.
Who vetoes bills? The President.
Name one war fought by the United States in the 1800s. The Civil War. Other acceptable answers are: the War of 1812, the Mexican-American War, and the Spanish-American War. But it is easiest just to remember, the Civil War.
What group of people was taken to America and sold as slaves? Africans, or people from Africa?
Who did the United States fight in World War II? Japan, Germany, and Italy.
Name your U.S. representative. Answers will vary here, because it depends where you live. To find your U.S. representative, go to house.gov and type in your zip code and street address, or just ask us in the comments.
What was one important thing that Abraham Lincoln did? Freed the slaves. You can also say, saved the Union, or led the United States during the Civil War. But it is easiest to remember, freed the slaves.
Under our Constitution, some powers belong to the federal government. What is one power of the federal government? To print money. Other acceptable answers include, to declare war, to create an army, and to make treaties. But it is easiest to just answer, to print money. What are 2 rights of everyone living in the United States? Freedom of speech and freedom of religion. Other acceptable answers include, freedom of expression, freedom of assembly, freedom to petition the government, and the right to bear arms. But it is easiest to just say, freedom of speech and freedom of religion.
What major event happened on September 11, 2001, in the United States? Terrorists attacked the United States.
What is the name of the President of the United States now? Joe Biden. The name of the current president is Joe Biden.
We elect a president for how many years? 4. We elect a president for 4 years.
What is the rule of law? Everyone must follow the law. Other acceptable answers are: leaders must obey the law, government must obey the law, and no one is above the law. But it is easiest to just say, everyone must follow the law.
What is the name of the Vice President of the United States now? Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris is the current vice president.
How old do citizens have to be to vote for president? 18 and older.
Name one American Indian tribe in the United States. Crow. The list of American Indian tribes shows a couple of other acceptable answers. There are actually over 500 federally recognized tribes. But we feel it is easiest just to remember, Crow. Why does the flag have 50 stars? Because there are 50 states. Other acceptable answers include, because there is one star for each state, and, because each star represents a state. But it is easiest just to remember, because there are 50 states.
Why do some states have more representatives than other states? Because of the state's population. Other acceptable answers you can say are, because they have more people, or, because some states have more people. But it is easiest just to say, because of the state's population.
What is an amendment? A change to the Constitution. You could also say, an addition to the Constitution. But it is easiest to remember, a change to the Constitution.
Name 2 national U.S. holidays. New Year's Day and President's Day. You can also choose any of the holidays in the list shown, including Martin Luther King Jr. Day, Memorial Day, Independence Day, Labor Day, Columbus Day, Veterans Day, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and Juneteenth. But it is easiest just to remember New Year's Day and President's Day.
How many amendments does the Constitution have? 27.
What is one thing Benjamin Franklin is famous for? U.S. diplomat. Benjamin Franklin was a U.S. diplomat. There are a number of other acceptable answers such as oldest member of the Constitutional Convention, first Postmaster General of the United States, writer of Poor Richard's Almanac, and started the first free libraries. But it is easiest just to say, U.S. diplomat.
Name one branch or part of the government. Congress. Other acceptable answers are legislative, president, executive, the courts, and judicial. But it is easiest just to remember, Congress.
When do we celebrate Independence Day? July 4th.
In what month do we vote for president? November. We vote for the president in November.
What is one promise you make when you become a United States citizen? To obey the laws of the United States. Other acceptable answers include to give up loyalty to other countries, defend the Constitution and laws of the United States, serve in the U.S. military, serve the nation, or be loyal to the United States. But it is easiest just to remember to obey the laws of the United States.
Name one of the 2 longest rivers in the United States. The Mississippi River. Another acceptable answer is the Missouri River. But we feel it is easiest just to remember Mississippi. Name one war fought by the United States in the 1900s. World War I. There are a number of other acceptable answers, including World War II, the Korean War, the Vietnam War, and the Gulf War. But we feel it is easiest just to remember World War I.
When was the Constitution written? 1787. The Constitution was written in 1787.
Who does a U.S. Senator represent? All people of the state.
Who was president during World War I? Woodrow Wilson. Woodrow Wilson was president during World War I.
What is the name of the Speaker of the House of Representatives now?
Who was the first president? George Washington.
Who is in charge of the executive branch? The President.
What is the capital of the United States? Washington, D.C.
The idea of self-government is in the first 3 words of the Constitution. What are these words? We the people.
Who is the Chief Justice of the United States now? John Roberts.
What movement tried to end racial discrimination? Civil rights. Or the Civil Rights Movement.
What do we call the first 10 amendments to the Constitution? The Bill of Rights.
How many justices are on the Supreme Court? 9. There are 9 justices on the Supreme Court.
Name one problem that led to the Civil War. Slavery. You can also answer economic reasons or states' rights, but it is easiest just to say slavery.
What did Susan B. Anthony do? She fought for civil rights. You can also say, fought for women's rights. But we feel the easiest answer to remember is, fought for civil rights.
During the Cold War, what was the main concern of the United States? Communism.
What did Martin Luther King Jr. do? Fought for civil rights. You could also say, worked for equality for all Americans. But it is easiest to say, fought for civil rights.
What are 2 cabinet-level positions? The Secretary of Defense and the Secretary of Education. As you can see, there are a number of other acceptable answers, but it is easiest to just memorize 2, such as the Secretary of Defense and the Secretary of Education.
Why did the colonists fight the British? Because of high taxes. Basically, taxation without representation. Other acceptable answers include, because the British Army stayed in their houses, or because they didn't have self-government. But it is easiest to just say, because of high taxes.
What stops one branch of government from becoming too powerful? Checks and balances. Another acceptable answer is separation of powers. But it is easiest to just say, checks and balances.
Who is the father of our country?
George Washington.
If both the president and the vice president can no longer serve, who becomes president? The Speaker of the House.
What are 2 ways that Americans can participate in their democracy? Vote and join a political party. There are a number of other acceptable answers, as you can see above. But it is easiest to remember, vote and join a political party.
When is the last day you can send in federal income tax forms? April 15th. The last day you can send in federal income tax forms is April 15th.
What are the 2 parts of the U.S. Congress? The Senate and House, or Senate and House of Representatives.
How many U.S. senators are there? 100. There are 100 U.S. senators.
What is one right or freedom from the First Amendment? Speech. Other acceptable answers include religion, assembly, press, and petition the government. But it is easiest just to remember speech.
Name the U.S. war between the North and the South. The Civil War. You could also say the war between the states, but it is easiest just to say the Civil War.
If the president can no longer serve, who becomes president? The vice president.
When must all men register for the selective service? At age 18. Or, you can say, between 18 and 26.
What is the capital of your state? Answers will vary. To find the capital of your state, go to either link shown here, 50states.com, or Wikipedia. If you live in the District of Columbia, you can answer that DC is not a state and does not have a capital.
What does the Constitution do? Sets up the government. Other acceptable answers are defines the government or protects basic rights of Americans. But it is easiest to just say sets up the government.
What is the supreme law of the land? The Constitution.
What is the name of the national anthem? The Star-Spangled Banner.
And there you have it. Thank you for joining us today. If you liked this video, please subscribe. Your support is very much appreciated and helps us continue our mission. As always, thanks again for watching and have a wonderful day.